Once again, the Canadian wildfires continuing to cause problems all throughout the area. You know what it looks like. I mean, Philadelphia, much of the area, the poor quality of air. We're dealing with the smoke and the haze from the wildfires. Also, airport delays as well, ground cancellations that we've seen throughout the area. We've seen a number of outdoor activities that have been canceled as well. We're being told to wear masks, but why? I want to bring in Dr. Segal, who's going to be answering all of your questions. Manav Segal, great to see you.
Nice to see you.
So we talk about these air particles that are in the air. I mean, we can't see them. They're way smaller than the size of a sand or a human hair, but we're inhaling them. What exactly are we inhaling, and what does it do to the body?
So these are particles being released in that smoke from those Canadian wildfires, and they're traveling hundreds of miles. The particulates are extremely small, and they range in size, but we can see it. We see that haze, and it's in such high concentrations that at present it's unhealthy and even hazardous for us to be outside. Size of these particles, as you mentioned, is measured in microns, and it's a really, really tiny particulate matter that poses the greatest health risk.
So it's going into our lungs, it goes into our bloodstream.
Correct.
What is it doing to the body?
So these are called volatile organic compounds, and they can be sources of inflammation by itself. For my patients with asthma, any sort of dust or smoke or irritants is going to exacerbate their underlying lung conditions, conditions like COPD, asthma, or other pulmonary diseases. And we've also seen, just from experience in other areas where they do have wildfires, that even cardiac conditions can be exacerbated.
Even with our allergies, I mean, you know, people are suffering. They're wheezing, they're coughing. They want to know, should I be doubling up on my asthma medication? Should I be buying an inhaler?
Right. So I think the best advice would be taking steps ahead of time to try and prevent your exposure to these irritants. So that's going to mean staying indoors, avoiding strenuous exercise outdoors.
Oh, you don't got to tell me twice.
Wearing a good quality mask, so we want to go back to those N95 masks because that's going to reduce exposure to those smaller particles. If you're having symptoms, and those symptoms can range from itchy, irritated eyes, sneezing, congestion, but certainly if you're having breathing issues, those would be reasons to reach out to your doctor. For my patients with asthma, we're taking steps to adjust their medications if they're experiencing symptoms. For patients with cardiac issues, and if you're experiencing dizziness, chest pain, trouble breathing, again, those would be reasons to seek medical attention.
It's good to know to wear the mask. What about indoors, air conditioning, filters?
Correct. So staying indoors isn't going to be enough. We want to keep doors shut. We want to keep windows down. Air conditioning is going to be helpful for a couple of reasons. It's going to help us filter the air, and good quality HEPA air filters for our HVAC systems are going to be important if we have access to them. Air purifiers with HEPA filters are also going to be useful, and extra steps you can take could be to create a single room even within a house where you're taking extra precautions using those room air purifiers there.
To kind of seal yourself in.
Yeah.
And real quick in an answer, we don't know about any long-term exposure as of yet. Hopefully it doesn't linger around.
Correct.
All right, Dr. Segal, always good to see you. Appreciate you answering the questions. Always great advice as well. That's going to do it for the early edition of Good Day Philadelphia. Of course, we're going to keep the conversation going. Mike, Alex, Bob, and Sue, hello again, Doc. And I'll be joining you again for the 9 o'clock hour. Be safe out there.